Good afternoon, shitlords. This is Lang. I'm sorry for that intro. Okay, yeah, I'm never getting monetized. That's fine. This is a personal project. This channel. Not a Pokemon guide this time, but I was playing around with my Commodore VIC-20. This is not emulated. This is a real Commodore VIC-20. This was actually my great grandmother's Commodore VIC-20 that she bought in 1983. I actually have the receipt. It was all packaged up in its box, and the receipt was in there from some electronics shop in Gramercy Park. And she got this in like February of 1983 for like $150 with tax. She and her husband, who was my great grandfather, owned some kind of store in Chinatown, I think. And this was probably used for accounting and things like that. So I wanted to make a short series of videos going over some of the stuff I have for my VIC-20. Hand-me-down, of course. She at some point gave it to one of my uncles, who gave it to me because he had no use for it, of course, in the modern age. I mean, this was when I was a teenager, but still. And I love this thing. I have a Commodore 64 and a 128 as well, but something's up with them. I can't get them to work. I'm waiting on new power supplies. Shout out to Ray Carlson, who has a business making new power supplies for these old systems. He made the ordering process really easy. Waiting on those. Hopefully I'll be able to make some videos on those as well, but I wanted to talk a little bit about my VIC-20. If you don't know anything about the Commodore computers, they were old computers that could also be used as gaming systems. I actually have a few cassettes because these are so old that to store data you use cassettes, like audio cassettes. I have this in-package VIC-20 pack of like 5 or 6 cassettes that all have programs on them for like accounting and stuff like that, which is probably what my great grandmother was using it for her business, probably like inventorying and accounting and things. But I also have games for it as well, which is what I care about. I'm also trying to learn BASIC, which is this language that is used here, and when you first boot it up, you can program your own programs, and if you want, you can save them to a cassette. You can even write down the program, just literally writing it down, because a lot of the programs were relatively short compared to programs today. And that was honestly a way you could share games back in the day with BASIC, was you could save it to a cassette tape and pass them around like you're passing around mixtapes, but it's games on them or other programs. But you could also subscribe to magazines and things like that, or have friends write them down and just type in the code, and that was either, your friends had a scrap of paper he wrote some code on, or the magazine would have like printouts of code. I've actually got this little mailed insert that I got because probably my uncle, as a teenager when they got this, filled out a survey to like the Commodore magazine, and as a reward got a little strip of paper printout with a game called Amazer on it, and it has the entire code for the game just printed on this paper. And what you could do, I could do it today. I'll probably do it for a later video, but it takes time to type it all in. You just copy in the code word for word, line for line, piece by piece from this piece of paper, and you can save it to a video cassette. And all of a sudden, this video cassette is now a game for your VIC-20 system. Amazer is probably not that great of a game. Certainly not that deep if you can write it all down on one little tiny piece of paper. But the overall process of printing out your code or writing down your code on paper and then just passing it around or mailing it out or getting new games with a magazine essentially is really cool to me, even though I grew up way after all this stuff. But I've always been into retro gaming and collecting. So I just think that's super cool. I wish I grew up in that time where you could subscribe to Commodore PowerPlay magazine. I've got one issue of PowerPlay, which has it actually has games in it that I could also type in as well. And then just every month you get a magazine that has cool stuff in it that you want to read, but also came with games that you could just type in the code, even user-submitted games and other programs, and then save them to video cassettes, or well, audio cassettes, but it could hold whatever from the VIC-20, and then load them up later and play games. It's just great. I love that. That being said, right now I'm not going to be programming any BASIC. I'm still learning. I'm reading through the manual. What I wanted to play is one of the games that they did have. My great-grandmother probably bought my uncles and my father, who were her grandchildren. And to my cousins who watch this channel occasionally, this was our paw's mother, so our bok paw. And I'll put the receipt up at some point in the video as well, just to show. So she would let our dads and our uncles play games on this. I don't know, maybe she played games too. I know our Gung, our grandfather, would play Atari all the time. He loved it. I'm going to load up a game. I have a cassette reader, and let me see if I remember how to do this. How do I do this? Is it shift, run, stop? Oh, yes, perfect. Shift, run, stop loads up the cassette, and inside my cassette player I've got a game. This also took cartridges as well as video cassettes, and I'll play cartridges in later videos. I've got a few. But this is a game. I'm going to hit play real quick on the cassette player. I think it's working. Okay, it should be working. It's loading. It takes time to load up. This is a game that could not be made today, but I guess my great-grandmother or maybe my uncles or something bought this game back in the 80s called New York Blitz. And the story, as given in the case, the little, I wouldn't call it a manual, but a little insert in the case is... You're flying over the city, watching the landscape below, when suddenly you find you're out of fuel. The plane starts to descend towards the skyscrapers below, and you realize you're not going to reach an airfield in time. Now it seems the only way you and your crew are going to land safely is to flatten the city. Will you be successful? Will you be promoted? Joystick or keyboard control. That's insane. This is literally, this game could not be made today, certainly not after certain events in the early 2000s, and, you literally, I believe actually just the final level is just bombing and or crashing into buildings in New York City, which is fucking insane. Yep, try to demolish each city before you crash into a skyscraper. Fucking nuts. And one of the levels in here is a city I live in Florida. So, if I get that far, we'll get to blow it up. Isn't that great? Alright, let's hit a key. Does this work? Okay, I'm using this joystick. I want to shout out this joystick from the 80s, and the company's definitely defunct. But if you find one of these used or on eBay, the 500XJ joystick controller by Epix Conix, it's this red and black racer stripe looking controller. It looks funky. It's just like an Atari controller, but you know, one of those off-brand ones. But this thing feels so good to hold, and the buttons and joystick, listen to this clicking. That's the joystick. And it has two buttons. Those are the buttons. Plus it has a turbo switch, auto fire. Oh, this thing, I love this clicking. It feels as good as it sounds in your hand. And it contours to the hand decently well. It's not perfectly contoured to my hand, but you know, I got big hands, so, you know, whatever. But I gotta hit a different key to start the game. Okay, it's probably gonna load for a bit more. Yeah, it's okay. I can see the cassette reader is loading up more data. But I played this game as a kid, and even though it could not be made today, and it's not even that fun, to be honest, I have fond memories of this game because I played it as a preteen when I got handed down this VIC-20 from an uncle who was probably like, "What the hell is he even going to do with this old thing, this old hunk of junk?" But I love these old hunk of junks. Another aunt and uncle of mine, who I love very much, threw out some Apple IIe's that they had, I believe, or Apple II somethings, and or they sold them on Facebook Marketplace. I think they got $50 for 2 computers. I was so upset. I was like, "Oh, next time that happens, just give them to me, please." So I'm still in the market for an Apple II of some sort. I've got this game called Journey for one of them, which is like a fantasy text adventure. Looks so good. I definitely want to play some text adventures on this VIC-20 later. Okay, here we go. Let's see how far we can get. All right, so you literally you move back and forth, well, really just left to right, and kind of like Centipede, you have to get what you want. Oh, shit. You have to flatten the city before you're going to slowly or eventually... Oh, fuck. Oh, God, nope. Oh, God. Oh, I'm so bad. Oh, no, I'm going to crash. I'm going to crash. Oh, my God, I saved myself. And I'm going to crash again. Oh, I'm going to crash again. This is hard, because... Oh. I don't think I even have sound on. I don't think this is even capturing sound right now. But there's not much sound in this game anyway. Wow, mission failure. Yeah. Let's try that again. Is this randomly generating the buildings? It might be. I can't tell. I wasn't paying close enough attention. I was losing too badly. Oh, God. I'm playing with a little bit of lag because I'm watching this on my screen capture as opposed to a TV. Just for ease. I should be hitting this red one. No! Oh, please don't let me crash. Oh, thank you. Shoot. You can't drop a bomb until... Oh! Yes! Until the other bomb is off the screen. Okay, cool. Let's make it to the next level. So if you drop it, there is strategy here. If you like are close, you obviously want to start by targeting, if you can, the buildings that are tallest, right? Because those are coming up on you. But there is some strategy involved. If you can hit that first building and it's relatively short and you're kind of close to it, you technically could drop a second bomb in the second run. Oh, shoot. I should have hit the pink building. Oh, okay. Well, I got promoted to lieutenant despite crashing into, like, what could be the big Wells Fargo building downtown. This video is going to get the FBI up my ass. I swear to God, this is a game made in the 80s. I'm just playing a game. I didn't come up with any of this. This is all make-believe. It sent me back to Miami. I thought I already leveled it. Well, this is basically the whole game. You keep doing this. I think this is randomly generating the actual buildings. To an extent, it probably has limits that slowly get unlocked as you proceed to higher levels. All right, I'm getting better with this. The input lag. There we go. But I used to love messing around in this game. And by messing around, I mean losing before I got anywhere near New York. Oh, it's so many buildings. You can probably hear the clicking of my joystick. Oh, shit. Oh, God. No. No. Go. Get the, go! No, I'm still gonna crash. Same building. Maybe it's not randomly generated because I hit that building twice. Well, I just wanted to make some short videos. This is the first of some VIC-20 videos I plan on making. Hopefully those of you who subscribe because of the Pokemon content won't unsubscribe just because I do other games as well. This is just a piece of my childhood. Thanks for watching. Love you, bye.